The survey shuttle touched down on the jungle moon called HFY War with a soft hiss of landing gear. The air outside was thick and hot, and smelled of wet leaves and strange flowers. The multi-species team stepped out, one by one. Their boots sank a little into the black soil. The sky above was green-tinted from the double canopy of trees. Instructor Vorak led the group. He was a tall Kravoxy with 4 glowing eyes and armor like scales. His voice rumbled like distant thunder when he spoke. "This is a restricted training world," he said. "The rules here are simple, and they save lives. Follow them, or do not come back." The cadets stood in a loose line behind him. There were 7 of them. 2 insectoid Xylari with clicking mandibles, 1 feathered Avari who kept fluffing her wings nervously, 3 sturdy Gorvoks who looked like walking boulders. And then there was the single human cadet named Jackson Hale. He was 19 years old, tall and thin, with messy brown hair and a calm smile that never faded. Quite left his face. He carried a heavy pack on his back, and his uniform was already spotted with sweat. Vorak pointed to the holographic signs that floated above the landing zone. They glowed red and repeated the same message in every known language. Law of the wild forests. Do not go near the apex predator, the Vorath. The signs showed images of the creature. Huge 6-limbed reptile with long sharp teeth, venomous quills along its back, and jaws that could crush steel. The mother Vorath is the most dangerous when she has cubs. Vorak continued, "One wrong step near her den and you disappear. No body, no trace, just gone." The Xylari cadets chittered in fear, the Avari feathers flattened against her body, the Gorvoks grunted and gripped their tools tighter. Jackson tilted his head and looked at the hologram for a long moment. Then he asked a question. "How big are the cubs right now?" Every alien turned to stare at him. Vorak's 4 eyes narrowed. "What?" "The cubs," Jackson said again. "How big are they at this time of year? Are they still small, or already half-grown?" The instructor stared for several seconds. The question seemed so strange, so pointless. Vorak finally answered. "They are half-grown, each one the size of your body or larger. They hunt already. They learn from their mother. Do not think about their size. Think about staying away." Jackson nodded politely. "Okay, thank you." He pulled a ration bar from his pocket, unwrapped it, and took a small bite, as if the talk of death made him hungry. The other cadets exchanged looks. One Xylari whispered to another, "The human is odd." The team moved into the forest for the first navigation exercise. They had to travel 5 kilometers through thick undergrowth and mark 3 checkpoints. The path was narrow, vines hung everywhere, and strange insects buzzed around their heads. The air grew hotter with every step. Vorak walked at the front. He used a scanner to check for Vorath tracks. The device beeped softly whenever it found fresh claw marks or scat. He pointed them out to the cadets. "See this?" he said. "Deep grooves in the tree bark. That is a mother marking her territory. She is close. Stay on the path." The group moved carefully. Hours passed. The sun filtered through the leaves in green shafts. Jackson stayed near the back. He hummed a quiet tune under his breath. It was an old Earth song, soft and slow. The aliens glanced at him, but said nothing. At the second checkpoint, they stopped to rest. Everyone sat on fallen logs or flat rocks. Vorak passed out water packs. The cadets drank and wiped sweat from their faces. Jackson sat apart. He opened his pack and took out several more ration bars. He broke one into small pieces and laid them on a leaf beside him. "What are you doing?" a Gorvox cadet asked. "Just saving some food," Jackson answered, "for later." The Gorvox snorted. "You think you will need that much?" "Maybe," Jackson said with a shrug. "You never know." Vorak stood up. "Time to move. The 3rd checkpoint is near the ridge. We finish there and return to base before dark." The team packed up and continued. The forest grew darker, thicker. The trees were taller now, their trunks as wide as shuttles. Roots rose from the ground like twisted fingers. The air smelled stronger of musk and wet earth. Suddenly a sound came from the underbrush, a low whimper, soft and small. It was not the roar of an adult Vorath. It was higher, weaker, almost like a cry for help. Jackson stopped walking. He turned his head toward the sound. The others kept moving for a few steps before they noticed he was no longer with them. Cadet Hale Vorak called, "Come!" Jackson did not answer. He took one step off the path, then another. The whimper came again, clearer now. Hale Vorak barked louder. "Return to the group." The human kept walking. He moved slowly, branches brushing his shoulders. He disappeared into the green wall of leaves. The cadets froze. The Xylari mandibles clicked fast. The Avari wings opened in. Alarm Vorak growled deep in his throat. He pulled out his comm device. "We have a lost cadet," he said. "Human Jackson Hale." He left the path toward possible Vorath territory. The team waited. No one spoke. The forest seemed quieter now, as if it was listening. Minutes passed. Then a new sound came. Not a whimper this time. It was a deep rolling purr, the kind that made the ground vibrate. It came from the same direction Jackson had gone. Vorat's eyes widened. He knew that sound too well. It was the sound a mother Vorath made when she was calm, when she was not hunting, when she was with her young. He turned to the team. "Weapons ready," he ordered. "We go after him now, but slowly. No sudden moves." The cadets nodded. They gripped their tools like lifelines. They stepped off the path one by one, following the bookprints that led straight into the danger zone. The forest swallowed them. The signs on the landing zone glowed in their minds. Law of the wild forests. Do not go near the apex. Predator. But one human had already gone, and something impossible was happening in the shadows ahead. Jackson Hale was not running, not hiding, not fighting. He was sitting on the ground in front of a dark den mouth. 3 small shapes tumbled out toward him. They were Vorath cubs, each one as long as his leg, covered in soft quills and big, curious eyes. They sniffed his boots, then pushed their heads against his legs like hungry kittens. Jackson smiled. He tore open another ration bar. The rich meat smell filled the air. The cubs chirped and opened their mouths. He placed small pieces on their tongues, one by one. They ate fast, tails flicking with joy. Above him, the mother Vorath watched. Her huge body filled the den entrance. Her eyes glowed yellow. She did not roar. She did not attack. She lowered her head slowly and sniffed the human's hair. Then she made that deep purr again. Jackson looked up at her. "Hello, Mama," he said softly. "You have beautiful kids." The mother Vorath blinked once. Then she stepped forward. Her massive paw brushed his shoulder gently. She lay down beside him, curling her long body around the cubs and the human like a living wall. Far behind, the rescue team moved closer. They did not know yet what they would find. But the forest already knew. The law had changed, and the apex predator had chosen her new pack member. The story of Jackson Hale was just beginning. The rescue team pushed through the thick vines and low branches. Their boots made wet sucking sounds in the mud. Instructor Vorak led them. His 4 eyes scanned every shadow. The pulse rifles in their hands hummed with low power. The cadets stayed close together. No one spoke much. The air felt heavier now, full of the smell of earth and something sharper, like old blood. They followed Jackson Hale's boot prints. The marks were clear at first, deep and even. Then they mixed with bigger tracks, claw marks wider than a Gorvok's hand. The prints led straight to a rocky hillside. A dark opening awaited there, the den mouth. It looked like a cave carved by teeth and time. Vorak raised one scaled hand. "Stop," he said. We go no closer, without a plan. The mother will smell us. She will come fast. A Zilari cadet clicked his mandibles nervously. The drone. We sent the drone earlier. It saw him. Yes, Vorak answered. And the feed cut. The last image showed the human feeding the cubs. Picked him up like a toy, and carried him inside. No screams, no blood, just gone. The Avari cadet fluffed her feathers. She whispered, "He is dead. We should leave now. Report it as a loss." "Not yet," Vorak said. "Coalition rules say we confirm. No body means no proof." He turned to the team. "Two of you set up the sonic deterrent. It will hurt her ears if she charges. The rest, ready stunners. Low power only. We want to scare her, not kill her. The Vorath are protected, even now." The team worked fast. They placed small black boxes in a half circle. The devices glowed blue when turned on. A low hum started. It would make any Vorath mother angry and confused, long enough for a retreat. One Gorvox cadet held the portable force field generator. It was heavy. He grunted as he set it down. "Ready?" he said. Vorak nodded. "Good. Now we advance. Slow. No loud steps. No talking." They moved forward like shadows. The den mouth grew bigger. It smelled warm and musky. Inside was dark, but shapes moved. Small forms tumbled near the entrance. The cubs. They played, rolling over each other, nipping tails. Their quills were still soft, not yet sharp. Their eyes glowed yellow in the dim light. Then they saw him. Jackson Hale sat in the middle of the den floor. His back rested against a smooth rock wall. The three cubs used his lap like a bed. One lay across his legs. Another curled against his side. The third had its head on his chest. All three slept. Their breathing made soft rumbles. Jackson scratched behind the ears of the nearest cub. His fingers moved slow and gentle. The cub purred louder in its sleep. Above them all lay the mother, Vorath. Her body formed a living wall around the group. 9 meters of muscle, scales, and teeth. Her tail curled tight. Her head rested near Jackson's shoulder. She watched the team with half-closed eyes. No growl came from her throat. Only that deep rolling purr. It vibrated the stone under their feet. The team froze. Every weapon pointed forward, but no one fired. Vorak's voice came out low. "What is this?" Jackson looked up. He saw them and smiled like nothing strange was happening. "Hey guys," he said. His voice was calm, happy even. "Meet my new kids." They were really hungry. Turns out Vorath weaning gets delayed when there is a drought. The local prey moved away. I've been giving them my emergency rations. It helps a lot. The cadets stared. One Zilari dropped his scanner. It clattered on the rock. The mother Vorath lifted her head a little. Her eyes narrowed, but she did not move. "You are alive," the Avari said. It sounded like she did not believe it. "Yes," Jackson answered. "Why would I not be? They are nice. They just needed food and someone to sit with." Vorak stepped one pace closer. His rifle stayed low. "How long have you been here?" "Since I heard the whimper," Jackson said. "About 3 hours maybe. I sat down, they came out, they sniffed me, then they started pushing against my legs. I gave them some bars. They ate fast. After that, Mother came out. She sniffed me too. Then she lay down. I think she was tired from hunting alone." The Gorvox with the force field generator whispered. "He imprinted on them." "No," another cadet said. "They imprinted on him. Look at her. She guards him like he is one of her own." Jackson kept scratching the cubs. One woke up. It yawned, showing small, sharp teeth. Then it licked Jackson's hand with a rough tongue. He laughed quietly. "Good boy," he said. "You are getting big already." The mother Vorath shifted. She moved her head closer to Jackson. She rubbed her jaw against his shoulder. The motion was slow, careful, almost tender. Jackson reached up and touched the soft skin under her ear flaps. She leaned into his hand. Her purr grew deeper. It filled the whole den. Vorak lowered his weapon. He spoke into his comm. "Base, this is Vorak. Recovery team has located Cadet Hale. He is alive, unharmed. He is currently inside the Vorath den. The mother is present. She shows no aggression toward him." Crackled back. "Repeat that. She shows no aggression." "Correct," Vorak said. "The human has been feeding the cubs. The mother allows it. She protects him." Silence came from the comm. Then a new voice. "This is command. We need visual confirmation. Send drone feed now." A small drone lifted from Vorak's pack. It flew quiet into the den. It hovered above Jackson and the Vorath family. The camera caught everything: the sleeping cubs, the relaxed mother, the human cadet who sat like he belonged there. Jackson looked at the drone and waved. "Hi," he said. "Tell them I am okay. I will come back soon. I just want to make sure the little ones eat a bit more first." The drone feed streamed live to the base. The instructors there watched in silence. Some cursed in their own languages. Others just stared. Back in the den, Vorak spoke again. "Cadet Hale, you must leave now. This is against every rule." Jackson nodded. "I know, but look at them. They are so thin, their ribs show. To give them those first. Then I will go." The mother Vorath lifted her head. She looked at Vorak. Her eyes glowed bright yellow. For a moment it seemed she would stand, but Jackson put his hand on her neck. "Easy, Mama," he said. "They are friends. They will not hurt us." The mother blinked once, then she settled back down. Her body curled tighter around the group. Vorak stared. He had seen Vorath mothers tear apart armored squads. He had seen them chase ships into the sky. But now this huge killer lay quiet, because one human boy asked her to. The team waited. They did not know what to do. One by one they lowered their weapons. The sonic deterrents stayed on, but no one touched the controls. Jackson broke the last ration bars into pieces. He fed the cubs one at a time. They ate slow now. Their bellies were full. They licked his fingers clean. Then they curled up again. Two of them started to snore. Jackson looked at Vorak. "I think that is enough," he said. "They are okay now." He started to stand. The cubs woke. They chirped and pushed against him. They did not want him to go. Jackson knelt again. "Sorry, kids," he said. "I have to go back to camp, but I will see you soon, okay?" The mother, Vorath, stood up slow. Her shadow covered the whole team. She stepped forward. One massive paw landed near Vorak. He did not move. Jackson walked to her. He hugged her neck as much as he could. "You take care of them, Mama," he said. "I will bring more food tomorrow." The mother purred once more. She lowered her head and nudged him gently toward the exit. Jackson turned to the team. "Shall we go?" he asked. Vorak nodded once. "Yes, we go now." They walked out of the den. The cubs followed a few steps, then stopped at the mouth. They watched Jackson leave. Their eyes were big and sad. The mother stayed inside, but her purr followed them like an echo. As the team moved back through the forest, no one spoke at first. Then the Avari asked the question everyone thought. "Do that." No one answered, not even Vorak. They just kept walking. The signs on the trees glowed red. Law of the wild forests. Do not go near the apex predator. But one human had already gone past the law, and the forest remembered. Word would spread fast. The Academy would hear, the Coalition would hear, and nothing would be the same again. The base camp buzzed with tension when the rescue team returned. Instructor Vorak marched at the front. His scales clicked with every step. The cadets followed behind them. Jackson Hale walked in the middle. He looked tired but happy. His uniform was covered in dirt and soft quill marks from the cubs hugging him. The other cadets stared as he passed. Some whispered. Some just watched with wide eyes. Command had already set up a secure tent. They wanted answers fast. A medical scanner checked Jackson from head to toe. No bites, no venom, no broken bones, just hunger and a few bruises from playful cub headbutts. The doctor, a thin Larathi with long fingers, shook her head in wonder. "He is fine," she said. "Completely fine." Vorak stood in front of the gathered instructors and senior cadets. He spoke clear and loud. Cadet Hale entered the Vorath den. He fed the cubs. He sat with them. The mother protected him. She let him touch her. She carried him. She purred. The team saw it all on drone feed. Drugs, no weapons, just the human and the beast. Murmurs spread through the camp. One instructor, a tall insectoid named Crix, clicked angrily. "This breaks every law. The Vorath are apex for a reason. They kill. They do not bond. Humans should not interfere." Another voice joined. A Gorvox trainer named Brack grunted. But he did interfere, and the mother did not kill him. She guarded him like her own. That is not interference. That is something new. Jackson sat on a low bench outside the tent. He drank water from a pouch. He listened to the arguments but said nothing. A small smile stayed on his face. Word traveled fast. The Academy network lit up with messages. Coalition brass wanted reports. Live feeds were requested. More drones were launched. They hovered high above the forest. They watched the den. The mother Vorath stayed inside with her cubs, but she looked toward the camp often. Her yellow eyes searched for something. Night fell. The camp lights glowed soft yellow. Grew loud. Insects chirped. Birds called from high branches. Something big moved in the trees. A low growl rolled across the clearing. Everyone froze. Weapons came up fast. Then they saw her. The mother Vorath stepped out of the forest. She moved slow, her body low to the ground. 3 cubs followed close behind. They stayed near her legs. Their quills stood up a little, but they did not hiss. The mother stopped at the edge of the camplights. She looked straight at the tents. Vorak stepped forward. He held no weapon. His hands stayed open. "Mother," he said, "we mean no harm. Your young are safe." The Vorath blinked. She took one step closer, then another. The cubs chirped softly. They sniffed the air. Jackson stood up from his bench. He walked forward slow. No sudden moves. "Hey, Mama," he called softly. "I am here." The mother Vorath turned her head fast. She saw him. Her tail flicked once. She lowered her head and walked straight toward him. The cubs ran ahead. They tumbled over each other in excitement. They reached Jackson first. One jumped up and pushed its head against his chest. Another wrapped around his legs. The third licked his hand. Jackson laughed. He knelt down and hugged them all. "Good to see you too, kids. Did you miss me already?" The mother reached him. She stopped close enough that her breath warmed his face. She sniffed his hair. Then she rubbed her jaw along his shoulder. The same gentle motion from the den. Her purr started low and grew. It shook the ground a little. The camp went silent. Every being watched. No one moved. No one breathed loud. Jackson scratched under her ear flaps. She leaned into it, her eyes half closed in pleasure. He looked around at the stunned faces. "Sorry about this," he said. "She just will not leave me alone. I think she sees me as part of the pack now." Vorak spoke first. "You think? Or you know?" "I know," Jackson answered. "She brought them here. She did not have to. She could stay in the den, but she followed my scent all the way. She wants me close." A Xylari cadet stepped forward, brave or stupid. "This is dangerous. She is wild. She could turn any second." Jackson shook his head. "No, she will not. She trusts me. I fed her babies. I sat with them. I did not hurt them. Vorath mothers remember who helps their young. She thinks I am safe. She thinks I am family." A mother Vorath lay down right there in the camp clearing, her huge body stretched out. The cubs climbed over her and curled up near Jackson. He sat between her front legs like it was normal. One cub used his lap as a pillow. Another rested its head on his knee. Command sent a message through the comms. "This is not protocol. We need containment. We need to separate them." Vorak looked at the scene, then he looked at Jackson, then he answered back. Negative, Command. The mother will not allow separation. Attempting it will cause attack. She is calm now. She stays calm as long as the human is near. Brass argued. More voices joined. Some wanted tranq darts, wanted force fields. Some wanted to pull Jackson away by command. Jackson heard it all. He stood up slow. The mother lifted her head to watch. He patted her neck. Easy, girl. I am not going anywhere yet. He turned to Vorak. Sir, I know this looks bad, but think about it. She is not hunting. She is not angry. She is protecting her cubs and me. If we try to force things, someone will get hurt. Maybe a lot of someones. Vorak stared long and hard. Then he nodded. You stay with her tonight. We watch. We talk to command. We decide tomorrow. Jackson smiled. Thank you, sir. He sat back down. The cubs snuggled closer. The mother curled her tail around the group. She kept one eye open toward the camp. The purr never stopped. Morning came with soft rain. The camp smelled of wet earth and jungle flowers. The mother, Vorath, still lay in the same spot. The cubs played around her paws. They chased each other in small circles. One caught a fat insect and brought it to Jackson like a gift. Pretended to eat it. Yum. Thank you. The team gathered again. More instructors arrived by shuttle. They stood at a safe distance. They watched the human boy play with monsters like they were pets. A demonstration was ordered. Coalition brass wanted proof. One cadet, a jealous Avari named Lyra, stepped forward. She had always disliked humans. She thought they were weak. She thought they cheated to win places in the academy. She carried a low-grade shock prod, small but painful. She wanted to show everyone the Vorath were still wild. She walked closer than anyone dared. Stop, she called to Jackson. Your pets need discipline. Jackson looked up. Lyra, no, do not. She ignored him. She raised the prod. The tip glowed blue. She aimed at the mother Vorath. Just a small shock, she said, to remind her who is in charge. The mother snarled once, loud and deep. The sound made birds fly from the trees. The cubs hid behind Jackson. Their quills stood sharp. Lyra hesitated. Jackson stood up fast. Easy, Mama, he said. His voice stayed calm. He stepped between the prod and the Vorath. She is just scared. She does not understand. The mother looked at Jackson. Her snarl stopped. She waited. Lyra sneered. She is a killer. She will always be a killer. Jackson shook his head. No, she is a mother, and right now she is my mother too. If you hurt her, you hurt me. Lyra froze. The prod lowered. The mother Vorath stared at her with cold yellow eyes. One paw lifted, showing claws longer than knives. Then she looked back at Jackson. She nudged him gently with her nose. Jackson patted her. You are a good girl. No need to fight. Lyra backed away fast. The other cadets whispered. The instructors nodded slowly. Vorak spoke to the group. The law was, do not go near the apex predator. The human went near. He fed the cubs. He earned trust. Now the apex predator follows him. Now the apex predator listens to him. This is not a violation anymore. This is a bond. The camp lights dimmed as evening came. The mother Vorath stayed. The cubs stayed. Jackson stayed. No fences, no chains, just trust. Word spread farther. The old signs in the forest would change soon. New words would glow in the holograms. Do not approach the human cadet without permission. Do not threaten the Vorath pack. The apex predator is bonded now. And in the heart of the camp, a boy from Earth sat with his new family. The nightmare of Kale Vor had become something else. Something warm, something loyal, something terrifying in a whole new way. The news spread like fire through dry leaves. Every cadet in the academy heard about the human boy and the Vorath mother. Every instructor talked about it in low voices. Coalition brass called emergency meetings on secure channels. Reports flew between ships and stations. The jungle moon of Vor had become the center of attention. Back at base camp, the mother Vorath refused to leave. She stayed near Jackson's tent. She slept in the open clearing with her cubs curled against her sides. Jackson fed them scraps from the mess hall, meat strips soaked in nutrient paste. They ate with happy chirps. Their bellies grew rounder. Their quills started to harden. The mother watched everything with calm yellow eyes. She growled softly when strangers came too close. But when Jackson spoke, she settled right away. Cadets gathered at a safe distance. They pointed and whispered. Some took secret pictures with hidden scanners. Others just stared in awe. A few felt fear. A few felt something like respect. Group felt anger. Cadet Lyra the Avari, who had tried the shock prod, led that group. She walked among her friends with sharp words. "This is wrong," she said. "Humans cheat. They always find ways to bend rules. He did not tame that beast. He poisoned it with food. Now it follows him like a slave. We should report him. We should demand expulsion. This breaks the balance of nature." Her words found listeners. Other cadets nodded. Some instructors agreed quietly. Vorath were meant to stay wild. They were a test of survival, not friendship. To bond with one meant cheating the system. A formal complaint went up the chain. Lyra signed it first. Others added their names. They asked for Jackson Hale to face discipline. They asked for the Vorath family to be removed, forced back to the deep forest, tranked if needed. Command listened. They set a hearing. The next day a shuttle arrived with senior officers. 3 tall figures stepped out, a Kravoxi admiral with silver scales, a Zilari diplomat with polished mandibles, and a human representative from Earth who looked calm and curious. They wanted to see for themselves. The hearing happened in the main tent. Jackson stood in the center. No restraints, no guards. The mother Vorath waited outside. She paced slow circles around the tent. The cubs played nearby, but stayed close to her. Every growl she made reminded everyone she listened. The admiral spoke first. "Cadet Hale, explain your actions. You violated direct orders. You approached restricted wildlife. You fed protected apex predators. Now the mother follows you. This creates danger for the entire camp." Jackson looked straight ahead. "I heard a sound, sir. A whimper. I thought it was a hurt animal. I went to check. I found the cubs. They were thin and crying. Their mother was gone hunting. I gave them food because they were starving. I did not plan to stay. I did not plan anything. It just happened." The Zilari clicked mandibles. "You fed them. You sat with them. You let the mother carry you. This is not natural behavior. Vorath do not accept outsiders." Jackson shrugged. "Maybe not usually, but she was alone. Her mate died last season. I heard the scouts talk about it. She had no help with the drought. The cubs needed more than she could give. I helped, that is all." The human representative leaned forward. "And now she sees you as what, exactly?" "As pack," Jackson said. "As provider, as protector, maybe even as alpha. I do not know Vorath words, but she trusts me. She brings her cubs to me. She lets me touch them. She defends me. That is what happened." Outside the tent, the mother Vorath stopped pacing. She pressed her head against the fabric. She listened to Jackson's voice. Her purr started again, soft but clear. It came through the walls like a promise. The admiral frowned. "This bond threatens academy training. If cadets think they can adopt monsters, what happens next?" Jackson answered, "They learn something important, sir. Not everything dangerous wants to kill you. Fed. Sometimes it wants family. Humans are good at that. We make friends where others see enemies." The Zilari diplomat raised one antenna. "And if she turns, if hunger returns, if instinct wins," Jackson smiled a little, "then I will be the first to know, because she will tell me first. She will not hide it. She trusts me too much to lie." The officers looked at each other. They stepped outside to see. The mother Vorath lay down when Jackson came out. She nudged him gently. The cubs ran to him. One dropped a fresh-killed bird at his feet, a gift. Jackson picked it up. "Thank you," he said. "You are good hunters already." The admiral watched for a long time. Then he spoke. "This is unprecedented. We will not separate them yet, but we will test it. We will demonstrate for the full Coalition Council. Live feed. No tricks." The demonstration happened the next afternoon. Drones hovered everywhere. Cameras caught every angle. Cadets, instructors, visitors from other ships, all watched on screens. Empty, except for Jackson and the Vorath family. Jackson stood in the center. He held a large bowl of meat mash. The mother Vorath sat beside him, calm. The cubs waited in front. "Sit," he said. The cubs sat, their tails curled neat. They looked up at him with bright eyes. "Stay," he said. They stayed, perfectly still. "Come," he said. They trotted forward in a line. They sat again at his feet. The crowd gasped. Vorath did not obey commands. They hunted, they killed, they ruled. But these ones listened, like trained hounds, like children. Jackson tossed small pieces of meat, one by one. The cubs caught them clean. No snapping, no fighting. They waited their turn. The mother watched proud. She licked Jackson's hand once. Then she lay down, chin on paws. Lyra stepped forward again. She could not stay quiet. "This is fake," she shouted. "He uses tricks. He uses drugs in the food. Watch." She pulled a small dart gun from her belt. Low-power stunner. She aimed at the nearest cub. "Prove it," she said. The mother Vorath exploded up. Her roar shook the trees. Her body blocked the cubs. Her claws dug deep into the dirt. Jackson moved fast. "Easy, Mama," he said. "No danger, no fight." The mother froze. Her roar cut off. She looked at Jackson. Her body shook with held-back rage, but she waited. Jackson turned to Lyra. "Put it down, please. You will start something you cannot stop." Lyra hesitated. The gun trembled. The mother snarled once more, low and warning. Jackson stepped closer to the beast. He put both hands on her neck. "Easy, girl. We are safe. She is leaving." Lyra lowered the gun. She backed away fast, her face pale. The mother relaxed. She nudged Jackson again. Her purr returned. The admiral spoke into the comm. "This ends the demonstration. The bond is real. The human cadet controls the apex predator, not with force, not with weapons, with trust, with care. The Vorath pack now answers to him." The feed cut. The screens went dark. But the camp stayed. Silent. Everyone understood. New orders came down fast. No expulsion, no punishment. Instead, early graduation for Jackson Hale. Not for combat, not for tactics, for unprecedented xenobiological integration. For turning nightmare into family. Cadets who once laughed at humans now stepped aside when Jackson walked by. Instructors nodded with new respect. The mother Vorath followed him everywhere. The cubs grew fast. They learned human words. Sit, stay, come, good. They fetched sticks. They guarded his tent. They slept at his feet. The forest changed too. Prey animals moved careful around the new pack. Vorath's scent mixed with human scent. Other predators stayed away. The ecosystem shifted quiet and slow, around one small human and his very large adopted children. Jackson looked at the glowing signs one evening. The old warning was gone. New words floated there. Restricted access. Do not approach the human cadet without permission. Do not threaten the Vorath pack. The apex predator is now bonded. Smiled. He scratched the mother's head. She purred, deep and happy. The cubs pressed close. One licked his hand. "Time to head back soon," he said. "To Earth, to meet the rest of the family. You will like it there. Lots of food, lots of space." The mother blinked slow. She understood tone more than words. She nudged him again, ready when he was. The jungle watched. The law had changed forever, and the real apex predator was never the one with the biggest teeth. It was the one who could make monsters love him. The day of graduation arrived bright and clear on the jungle moon of Vor. The parade grounds stretched wide between the landing pads and the main buildings. Flags from every coalition world fluttered in the warm wind. Cadets stood in neat rows, their uniforms crisp and polished. Instructors lined the edges. Senior officers sat under a shaded canopy. The air smelled of fresh rain and distant flowers. Jackson Hale waited at the back of the human section. He looked taller now, his shoulders broader from months of hard training and harder living. His hair was still messy, but his eyes shone calm and sure. 3 adolescent Vorath walked beside him. They no longer looked like cubs. Each one stood as tall as his waist. Their quills gleamed sharp and black. Their muscles moved smooth under scaled skin. They stayed close to him, one on his left, one on his right, one just behind, like a loyal shadow. The mother Vorath did not walk on the field. She stayed in the tree line, her huge shape half hidden by vines and leaves. But everyone knew she watched. Her yellow eyes followed every move. Her low purr rolled out now and then, a sound that made some cadets shiver. Others smiled because they understood. The ceremony started with speeches. The admiral from the hearing stood at the podium. He spoke of duty and courage and the future of the coalition. Then he came to the special part. Today we honor not just skill in battle or knowledge of stars. We honor something rare, something that changes how we see the galaxy. Cadet Jackson Hale stepped forward. Jackson walked out slow. The 3 young Vorath followed perfect in step. They matched his pace. Their tails swayed gentle. No growls, no hisses, just quiet pride. The crowd went silent. Some beings leaned forward. Others held their breath. Jackson stopped in front of the podium. The admiral looked down at him and at the beasts beside him. Cadet Hale, you came here as an exchange student. You leave as something more. You showed us that strength is not always in weapons or size. Sometimes it lives in kindness, in patience, in the choice to feed instead of fight. For your unprecedented work in xenobiological diplomacy and pack integration, the Coalition grants you early graduation with full honors. He pinned a new badge on Jackson's chest, a small silver symbol of a human hand resting on a Vorath paw. The crowd clapped loud. Some cheered. The young Vorath chirped happy. They bumped their heads against Jackson's legs, gentle but strong enough to make him laugh. Jackson saluted crisp. Then he turned to face the rows of cadets. Many looked back with new eyes. No more jokes about weak humans. No more whispers about cheats. They saw respect. They saw wonder. They saw fear mixed with awe. After the ceremony, cadets came forward. Some shook his hand. Some just nodded. One Xylari cadet clicked his mandibles and said, "You changed everything. Thank you." Another Gorvox grunted and clapped him on the back, hard enough to stagger him. Even Lyra stood at the edge. Speak. But she did not look away. When Jackson met her eyes, she gave one small nod. Then she turned and walked off. The shuttle waited on the pad. Engines hummed low, ready to lift. Jackson walked toward it. The 3 young Vorath trotted beside him. They carried small packs strapped to their backs. Food, toys, a few blankets, gifts from the camp staff. The mother Vorath left the trees now. She moved slow across the open ground. Every step shook the dirt a little. Cadets and instructors stepped back to give her room. She reached the shuttle ramp. She stopped. She looked at Jackson, her head lowered. She nudged him once, soft and careful. Jackson hugged her neck as far as his arms could reach. "I will miss you, Mama," he said. "But this is not goodbye. You come with us. You and the kids. We go home to Earth." The mother blinked slow. She purred deep. It vibrated through his chest. She stepped onto the ramp. The metal groaned under her weight. The 3 young ones followed eager. Their claws clicked on the floor. Found seats near the back and curled up together. Jackson turned one last time. He waved to Vorak. The old instructor stood tall. His 4 eyes glowed proud. Vorak raised one hand in salute. "Safe travels, Cadet," he called. "Bring them back someday." We will have stories to share." Jackson smiled. "I will, sir. Thank you for everything." The ramp closed. The engines roared. The shuttle lifted smooth into the green sky. The camp below grew small. The forest stretched wide. The den in the hillside waited empty now. But the moon would remember. Inside the shuttle, Jackson sat between the young Vorath. One rested its head in his lap. Another leaned against his side. The third watched out the window with curious eyes. The mother lay across the aisle. Her body filled half the space. She kept one paw near him, protective always. The pilot spoke over the comm. "Next stop, transfer station, then straight to Earth. Estimated time 3 weeks. Plenty of food and storage. The beasts will like it." "Thanks." He pulled out a ration bar. He broke it into 4 pieces. 3 for the kids, 1 for Mama. The young ones ate fast. Their tails thumped happy. The mother took hers gentle. She licked his fingers clean. As the shuttle climbed higher, the stars appeared, one by one. Jackson looked out. He thought about home, about green fields, about blue oceans, about cities full of noise and light. He thought about his real family, his mom, his dad, his little sister. They knew he was coming. They knew about the Vorath. He had sent messages full of pictures, full of stories. They said, "Bring them. We have room. We have meat. We have love." The young Vorath chirped soft. They sensed his calm. They pressed closer. One licked his cheek, rough and warm. Jackson laughed. "You're going to love it there," he said. "Big yards, lots of running space, and Grandma makes the best stew. You will eat like kings." The mother purred again. The sound filled the cabin, like music, like home. Into a routine, Jackson taught them more words. Sit, stay, come, here, good boy, good girl. They learned fast. They played fetch with rolled-up socks. They guarded the door when he slept. They curled around him at night, warm and safe. When the shuttle dropped out of jump near Earth, the blue planet filled the view. Jackson stood at the window. The Vorath crowded close. Their breaths fogged the glass. They stared wide-eyed at the swirling clouds, at the bright cities, at the oceans that shone like jewels. The landing went smooth. A private pad outside a quiet town, far from crowds, far from questions. Officials waited with trucks and trailers, big enough for the mother, reinforced, strong. The family stepped out into fresh air. The smell of grass and pine hit them. The young ones bounded forward. They rolled in the dirt. They chased butterflies. The mother stayed near Jackson. She sniffed everything, careful but calm. A car pulled up. Jackson's family stepped out. His mom ran first. She hugged him tight, tears in her eyes. His dad clapped his back. His little sister stared at the Vorath with huge eyes. "Are those real?" she asked. "Yes," Jackson said. "Meet your new brothers and sister, and their mom." The mother Vorath lowered her head slow. She sniffed the little girl gentle. The girl reached out unafraid. She touched the soft scales under the jaw. The Vorath purred. The sound rolled like thunder but kind. The family loaded into the trucks. They drove to a big house on a hill. Fields stretched behind it. Woods on one side. A lake nearby. Perfect for a pack. That night they sat outside. Stars filled the sky. The Vorath lay in a pile near the porch. Jackson sat with them, his hand on the mother's neck, his other hand scratching a young one's ears. His family watched from rocking chairs, quiet smiles on their faces. Somewhere far away on Cadet Vor, the old signs still glowed, but new ones joined them. The law had spread. The galaxy knew now. Do not approach the human cadet without permission. The Vorath pack. The apex predator is bonded. The real power was never teeth or claws. It was the heart that could turn fear into family. Jackson looked up at the stars. He whispered, "Thank you for everything." The mother nudged him once. She purred soft and deep. The young ones slept happy. The pack was whole. The adventure was just beginning.